The unexpected joy of saying no. Why you embrace solitude more as you age. Have you ever found yourself quietly declining a social invitation, not out of obligation or a prior commitment, but simply because the thought of being around a lot of people, even people you care about, feels exhausting? You're not alone. As we age, many of us experience a subtle but significant shift in our social preferences. We find ourselves gravitating towards quieter evenings, solo hobbies, and deeper, more meaningful connections. In this video, we'll explore 5 compelling reasons why embracing solitude becomes more common and even desirable as we get older. These aren't signs of becoming antisocial, but rather a testament to personal growth and self-awareness. Stay with me until the end, because understanding these reasons can empower you to embrace this phase of life with confidence and joy. Number 1. Reclaiming your time and energy. Remember those days when a packed social calendar felt like a badge of honor? The thrill of back-to-back engagements, the constant buzz of conversation, the feeling of being in demand. It was almost intoxicating. As we age, however, our perception of time undergoes a dramatic shift. It's no longer an endless expanse stretching out before us, but a precious commodity, finite and irreplaceable. We begin to recognize that time isn't just about quantity, but quality. We become more discerning about how we spend it, prioritizing activities that truly nourish our souls and contribute to our well-being. This often means stepping back from the relentless pace of social obligations and embracing the restorative power of solitude. Consider Eleanor, a vibrant 75-year-old who, for decades, juggled work, family, and a whirlwind of social engagements. Her calendar was a testament to her boundless energy and commitment to others. She was the go-to person for every event, always saying yes, priding herself on being there for everyone. Birthdays, anniversaries, retirement parties, community gatherings. Eleanor was a constant presence, her infectious laughter echoing through every room. But as time went on, she noticed a subtle shift in her energy levels. The constant activity, once exhilarating, began to leave her feeling depleted, not energized. She found herself craving quiet moments, yearning for the simple pleasure of a good book or a peaceful afternoon in her garden. The turning point came when Eleanor realized that her yes was often driven by a sense of obligation, not genuine enthusiasm. She was so busy fulfilling external expectations that she had neglected her own internal needs. She began to question the value of spreading herself so thin, recognizing that her constant activity was not only draining her energy but also preventing her from fully engaging in the activities she truly loved. With newfound clarity, Eleanor started saying no to commitments that felt draining, politely declining invitations that didn't align with her priorities. She began prioritizing restorative activities like gardening, reading, and spending quality time with a few close friends. She rediscovered the joy of quiet evenings at home, savoring the simple pleasures of a warm cup of tea and a captivating novel. This wasn't about becoming a hermit or withdrawing from the world. It was about consciously choosing how she spent her precious time and energy. This shift in Eleanor's life wasn't a sign of becoming antisocial, but rather a testament to her growing self-awareness. She realized that protecting her energy wasn't selfish. It was essential for her well-being. By reclaiming her time, Eleanor was able to invest in activities that truly nourished her soul, leaving her feeling more fulfilled and energized than ever before. It's a reminder that as we age, prioritizing our own needs and embracing the restorative power of solitude can be a profound act of self-care. Number 2, the beauty of deeper connections. As we journey through life, our experiences, both big and small, gradually shape our perspectives and values. The things we once prioritized, the activities that once filled our calendars, and even the people who once occupied our thoughts often shift in importance as we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. The superficial connections we once craved, those built on fleeting commonalities or social obligations, often lose their appeal. They begin to feel less fulfilling, less energizing, and ultimately less meaningful. In their place grows a yearning for something more profound, a desire for genuine, authentic relationships built on shared values, mutual respect, and a deep understanding of one another. This is a natural progression, a reflection of our evolving emotional and social needs. Think of Michael, a retired teacher who dedicated his life to shaping young minds. For decades, he was surrounded by people, colleagues, students, parents, and while he enjoyed the camaraderie and the intellectual stimulation of his profession, he found himself craving something more in retirement. The constant buzz of activity, the surface-level interactions that filled his days, left him feeling a sense of emptiness. He realized that while he appreciated the many acquaintances he had made throughout his career, he longed for the depth and intimacy of true connection. He began to invest more intentionally in the relationships that truly mattered, nurturing the bonds with his family and a small circle of close friends. He would spend hours engaged in deep conversations with his wife, reminiscing about shared memories and discussing their hopes for the future. He made a point of calling his children regularly, not just to catch up on their daily lives, but to truly listen and offer support. He reconnected with old friends, sharing vulnerabilities and celebrating milestones together. Michael discovered that quality trumps quantity when it comes to relationships. A handful of deep, authentic bonds are far more fulfilling than a vast network of acquaintances. These are the relationships that sustain us through life's ups and downs, offering unwavering support, unconditional love, and a sense of belonging. He found that these deeper connections brought him a sense of peace and contentment that he had never experienced before. His days were no longer filled with fleeting interactions, but with meaningful moments shared with those he cherished most. This shift in Michael's social preferences wasn't about abandoning friendships or becoming a recluse. It was about consciously choosing to prioritize the relationships that brought him joy, support, and genuine connection. It was about recognizing that true fulfillment comes not from the number of people we know, but from the depth of the bonds we share. It's a reminder that as we age, our social needs evolve, and that embracing the beauty of deeper connections can enrich our lives in profound ways. It's about recognizing that the quiet intimacy of a shared moment with a loved one can be far more rewarding than a crowded room filled with superficial chatter. It's about understanding that true connection is a precious gift, one that deserves our time, attention, and heartfelt investment. Number 3, the wisdom of discernment. As we age, our tolerance for negativity, drama, and superficiality tends to decrease. We simply don't have the patience for it anymore. Years of navigating complex social situations, dealing with interpersonal conflicts, and witnessing the ebb and flow of human relationships have equipped us with a finely tuned sense of discernment. We become more adept at recognizing energy-draining dynamics, toxic relationships, and conversations that lack substance. This isn't about becoming cynical or jaded. It's about developing a protective shield against emotional clutter. It's about recognizing that our emotional well-being is a precious resource, and safeguarding it becomes a priority. Imagine Carol, a woman in her late 60s who always prided herself on being agreeable and accommodating. For decades, she endured endless complaints, listened patiently to gossip, and participated in one-sided conversations, always putting others' needs before her own. She was the quintessential good listener, the friend everyone turned to for a sympathetic ear. She believed that being a good friend meant absorbing the emotional burdens of others, offering unwavering support, and never complaining about her own struggles. While her intentions were noble, this pattern of behavior began to take its toll. As Carol got older, she found herself increasingly irritated and drained by these interactions. The constant negativity started to weigh on her, impacting her mood and overall well-being. She realized that her desire to please everyone was coming at the expense of her own emotional health. The endless stream of complaints, the dramatic retellings of interpersonal conflicts, and the superficial chatter began to feel like an assault on her senses. She started to recognize that these interactions weren't truly fulfilling, and they weren't contributing to her growth or happiness. This realization was a turning point for Carol. She began to understand that true kindness wasn't about absorbing the negativity of others. It was about setting healthy boundaries and protecting her own emotional well-being. She started to say no to conversations that felt draining or negative. She politely excused herself from gossip sessions and disengaged from interactions that felt superficial or inauthentic. She learned to redirect conversations towards more positive topics, and she started prioritizing her own emotional needs. This wasn't about becoming judgmental or withdrawing from her social circle. It was about recognizing that her emotional energy was finite and that she needed to be more discerning about how she spent it. It was about choosing to invest her time and energy in relationships and activities that uplifted her spirit and nourished her soul. It was about understanding that true connection comes from shared positivity, mutual respect, and genuine empathy, not from absorbing the negativity of others. Carol's newfound discernment allowed her to cultivate more meaningful relationships. She began to attract people who valued her positive energy and respected her boundaries. She found herself surrounded by individuals who were genuinely interested in her well-being and who contributed to her growth and happiness. By prioritizing her own emotional health, Carol not only improved her own quality of life, but she also inspired those around her to do the same. It's a reminder that, as we age, the wisdom of discernment allows us to curate our social experiences, creating a more positive and fulfilling life. Number 4. The power of self-acceptance. As we age, we embark on a journey of self-discovery, a process of peeling back the layers of societal expectations and external pressures to reveal the authentic self within. This journey often culminates in a profound sense of self-acceptance, a quiet confidence that radiates from within. The need for external validation, that relentless pursuit of approval that once consumed our thoughts and actions, gradually diminishes. We begin to prioritize our own needs and desires, not out of selfishness, but out of a deep understanding that true happiness comes from within. This newfound self-acceptance empowers us to make choices that align with our values and priorities, regardless of what others may think. It's a liberation, a release from the shackles of societal expectations, and an embrace of the unique individual we have become. Picture David, a man in his early 70s, who, for much of his life, sought the approval of others. He meticulously crafted his persona, constantly striving to meet the perceived expectations of his family, friends, and colleagues. He worried about what people thought of his career choices, his hobbies, even his clothing. He measured his worth by the accolades he received and the praise he garnered. His life was a performance, a carefully orchestrated presentation designed to impress and appease. He rarely, if ever, allowed himself the freedom to simply be himself, to embrace his quirks, his passions, and his vulnerabilities. But as the years passed, David began to notice a subtle shift within himself. The relentless pursuit of external validation began to feel less fulfilling, less rewarding. He realized that the constant striving for approval was not only exhausting, but also preventing him from truly connecting with himself and others. He began to question the value of living a life dictated by external pressures, a life that lacked authenticity and genuine self-expression. The turning point came when David retired from his long-held corporate job. Freed from the constraints of the professional world, he finally had the time and space to reflect on his life and his values. He began to explore activities that he had always been curious about, but had never pursued for fear of judgment or disapproval. He took up painting, filling his canvases with vibrant colors and abstract forms that expressed the emotions he had long suppressed. He joined a hiking group, immersing himself in the beauty of nature and the camaraderie of like-minded individuals. He started spending more time with his grandchildren, sharing stories and laughter, and rediscovering the simple joys of life. Through these experiences, David began to cultivate a deeper sense of self-acceptance. He realized that true happiness wasn't about meeting external expectations. It was about embracing his authentic self, flaws and all. He stopped worrying about what others thought and started prioritizing activities that brought him joy and fulfillment. He discovered that his unique quirks and passions were not weaknesses to be hidden, but strengths to be celebrated. This shift in David's perspective wasn't about becoming self-centered or disregarding the opinions of others. It was about recognizing that true fulfillment comes from within, from aligning our actions with our values, and embracing the unique individual we are meant to be. It was about understanding that the opinions of others are just that, opinions, and that our own self-worth is not contingent upon external validation. It's a reminder that as we age, the power of self-acceptance allows us to live more authentically, embracing our true selves and finding joy in the simple act of being. It's about reclaiming our lives and living them on our own terms, with confidence, grace, and a deep sense of self-love. It's about understanding that the journey of self-discovery is a lifelong process, and that the greatest reward is the freedom to be ourselves, fully and completely. Number 5. Embracing the present moment. As the years accumulate, a profound shift occurs in our perception of time. The boundless expanse of youth gradually transforms into a precious tapestry woven with memories and experiences. We begin to understand the true meaning of the phrase, "Time is of the essence," recognizing that each moment is a gift, fleeting and irreplaceable. This realization often leads to a profound appreciation for the present moment, a conscious choice to savor the simple joys of life and find contentment in the here and now. This isn't about resigning ourselves to the passage of time or giving up on future aspirations. It's about recognizing the profound beauty and significance of each passing day and embracing it with gratitude and open arms. It's about shifting our focus from the anxieties of the future and the regrets of the past to the richness and fullness of the present. Imagine Helen, a woman in her 80s, whose life story is etched with the wisdom of time. Despite the inevitable physical challenges that accompany aging, Helen radiates an aura of contentment, a quiet joy that emanates from within. Her days are no longer filled with the relentless pursuit of achievement or the anxieties of social expectations. Instead, she finds solace and fulfillment in the simple, everyday moments that often go unnoticed in the rush of younger years. The warmth of the morning sun on her face, the gentle chirping of birds outside her window, the shared laughter with a loved one. These are the moments that Helen treasures, the small but profound experiences that fill her days with meaning and gratitude. Helen's mornings begin with a quiet ritual. She sits by the window with a cup of tea, watching the world slowly awaken. She observes the changing colors of the sky, the rustling leaves in the trees, the gentle sway of the branches in the breeze. These moments of quiet contemplation are not empty or idle. They are filled with a deep appreciation for the beauty and tranquility of the natural world. She finds joy in the simplicity of these observations, recognizing that the world is constantly unfolding, revealing its wonders in every moment. Later in the day, Helen might spend time with her grandchildren, listening to their stories, sharing her wisdom, and reveling in their youthful exuberance. These interactions are not mere obligations or duties. They are opportunities for connection, for sharing love and laughter, for creating memories that will last a lifetime. She understands that these precious moments are fleeting, and she savors every second, etching them into the fabric of her heart. In the evenings, Helen often reflects on her life, not with regret or longing for the past, but with a deep sense of gratitude for the journey she has traveled. She remembers the challenges she has overcome, the lessons she has learned, and the love she has shared. These reflections are not tinged with sadness or melancholy. They are filled with a quiet sense of peace, an acceptance of the natural ebb and flow of life. She understands that life is a tapestry woven with both joy and sorrow, and she embraces the fullness of her experience with grace and equanimity. Helen's life is a testament to the power of embracing the present moment. She doesn't dwell on the limitations imposed by age or the uncertainties of the future. Instead, she chooses to focus on the richness and fullness of each passing day, finding joy in the simple things, cherishing the connections she has with loved ones, and appreciating the beauty that surrounds her. Her life is a reminder that true contentment is not about achieving some distant goal or accumulating material possessions. It's about recognizing the preciousness of each moment and embracing it with gratitude and open arms. It's about living fully in the present, savoring the simple joys, and finding peace in the journey of life, knowing that every moment is a gift to be cherished. It's a lesson that as we age, the ability to embrace the present moment becomes not just a source of contentment, but a profound source of strength and resilience. Embracing solitude as we age isn't about becoming isolated or withdrawn. It's about making conscious choices about how we spend our time and energy, prioritizing meaningful connections, and finding joy in the simple things. It's about honoring our evolving needs and embracing the wisdom that comes with age. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What resonated with you the most? How have your social preferences changed as you've gotten older? Sharing your experiences can help others feel less alone on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Your support means the world to me. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the latest tips and advice on life after 60 all delivered to you absolutely free. By subscribing, you're joining a community of like-minded individuals navigating this exciting chapter together. Let's support each other and make the most of these years. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.